for me, I was always trying to find a better way to follow Christ, trying to find a better way, just spread his word, to share the gospel, and realized that when I went on a couple mission trips this past year, that my whole life growing up, I had been, just staying in my group. I hadn't been branching out to others to share the gospel. I'd been, just trying to just better portray the gospel to my friends who were already strong Christians. And sure, we were growing with each other in our faith, but we weren't doing a very good job portraying the gospel to other people by branching out or, every once in a while going and hanging out with them so that they can see the impact that Christ is having on our lives. When in those mission trips, what I realized was the first one was to Maine, and our minister talked about owning the right to be heard, and I realized that you can't just go up and just start sharing the gospel with somebody. I mean, that's great and all, but most people aren't going to want to hear it. What you have to do is you've got to show Christ's love to them, and just on a daily basis, day after day. That way they can see the repetition, the consistency that comes with Christ's love. And that was really hard for me because I was always kind of like a introverted guy, and honestly, I was scared to just go talk to somebody when I didn't know them. I had no reason to approach them. But what I realized was that in order to share the gospel effectively, you have to go and you have to create relationships, even though you're uncomfortable. Because see, I was asking God to create opportunities for me, which of course he can do, but I wasn't taking the initiative myself to go and do. As I had started praying about it and just thinking about it, I realized that God was calling me to go into ministry. I decided what I'm going to do. I was pretty comfortable. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do necessarily. And so I went through that, and I was just kind of like I really like ministry. Like I love doing it, but I don't know if it's a full-time job. I just felt God's calling me into ministry, and I decided that I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna follow God's example, and that was really the first time in my life that I had done that. I'd always, done the steps that my minister had told me to do, and I'd always, read the verses they told me to read and talked when they told me to talk, and just stuff like that. But I'd never really taken the initiative myself and said, okay, I'm going to follow Christ this way, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. What I had to realize was that I needed this goal so that I could do it better, because I know I wasn't going to do it perfectly, but I needed James 3:1 to remind me, like, people are watching you. You need to be accountable. You need to set a good example for Christ so that others can see him. I realized that I'm a sinner. I'm not better than anybody else, but I wanted to share with all of you my story so that you could keep me accountable in my walk with Christ. And I've told my friends this. I'll say it to you guys. If you see me messing up, falling down, feel free to catch me, pick me back up, because I need to get right back on track of where I'm going. My name is Grayson Holbert. Follow me as I follow the example of Christ.